Okay, everything should be fine now. I've unfucked things over here. So, on with the show.
Days of old, before the dinosaur descriptions in the book of Job. Behold the king of all the beasts on the face of the globe. Pyrotechnically bestowed, it ferocious and bold, stronger than King Kong. His eyes are red like dawn, greater than Gorgon, a kraken, he's Leviathan. The water churns with a violent commotion. Upon inspection, his scales are laid in sections, overlapping just like armor for defense and protection. He strikes fear and terror in the hearts of men, and if you battle him, you will not forget it. Never attempt to ever touch him again, or you'll regret it. His teeth are terrible, his jaws are very powerful. You cannot penetrate the skin of this animal. You'll never kill him with just slings and stones. Ineffective as straw are your spears and arrows. You cannot ring his nose, fire with steam from nostrils. If you jostle this colossal, then he might get hostile. We believe these proportions describe dinosaurs that lived among men, such as Brontosaurus. Dragons is now that recorded through time and cultures on what's it. Believe these proportions describe dinosaurs that lived among men, such as Brontosaurus. Dragons is now that recorded through time and cultures on what's it. Power and strength of behemoth, swinging his tail like a cedar log, head above the treetops. A herbivore who eats grass like an ox. He can never be caught. He lives in lakes and locks, among the lotus plants and reasons where this monster rocks. Just another unknown, like the Yeti and Sasquatch. Bones like bronze, he's the chief of the ways of God. No one can threaten him or catch him off guard. Stone reliefs of these fabulous beasts, from Hercules to the dragon, chase a battle for the golden fleece. I know it's hard to conceive what ancient peoples believe, but every culture agrees, from the Greek to Chinese. From feathered serpents with wings, the basilisk and the sphinx, the hydra, chimera, and the griffin and banshee. The dragons on the walls of Babylonian gates, plus all the legends round the world about creatures and lakes. Giant squids with the eyes the size of dinner plates. What you think? Do you think they can all be fakes? We believe these proportions describe dinosaurs that lived among men, such as Brontosaurus. Dragons is how that recorded through time and cultures on what's it. Believe these proportions describe dinosaurs that lived among men, such as Brontosaurus. Dragons is how that recorded through time and cultures on what's it. So take your radiometric decay and your carbon 14 and just put it away. We won't be swayed from the truth by your nonsense. We will protest and request you change contents, and recognize that you built your claims on pretense, and admit that evolution is a myth of pseudoscience. Some scientists won't admit that being atheist could make them biased when interpreting the evidence. They think we're accidents, their intellect is arrogant. Many dismiss and neglect what is relevant, like the discovery of coelacanth, this living fossil in a fish market, torrent half the fossil record. Inconvenient for the seasoned professionals, like professors and professed intellectuals. Their observations gotta fit prevailing paradigms. A pair of pterodactyls probably went paralyzed, wouldn't believe it if they saw it with their own eyes. Hypnotized like the Holy Bible prophesies. These proportions describe dinosaurs that lived among men, such as Brontosaurus. Dragons is how they're recorded through time and cultures on what's it. Believe these proportions describe dinosaurs that lived among men, such as Brontosaurus. Dragons is how they're recorded through time and cultures on what's it.
Once again, that's Destiny Lab. If you guys haven't gone over there to get their music, you need to go over there and get their music. I'm just saying. It's good stuff. Okie dokie. Sorry I effed shit up just, a little bit ago and wasted 15 minutes of everybody's time. Wasn't my intention at all, I promise. And now that things are uneffed, it should go swimmingly from now on. I did an update on the computer. I usually don't update computer stuff, but I'm trying to do some DVDs and Blu-rays and stuff of things I've recorded, and I did an update. So it kind of F shit up for a minute. But I got it uneffed, so we're good. Okie dokie. Let's see. JR wants to come on tonight, so we're going to tap on his phone thingy and get him added in here real quick. Jump down here and grab Mr. Lance Mussa. Get him added in. And Prepper Chicks, she's coming on to Skypey. That's 3. I'm going to go up here and tap on Dave's thing. He wasn't feeling too well earlier when I talked to him. I don't know. I'll give him a chance to add in. If he wants to answer the call, he can answer the call. If not, Dave, I hope you're feeling better. Okay? Okay. Oh, don't tell me this is effed up too. Come on, everybody. Answer your thingies. Lori, answer your thing. Can you guys hear me? It's showing that the audio is going out. Can you guys hear me? Can everybody hear me? Everybody's unavailable? Okay, well, what the F, man? Call, answer your things, people. Lori, come on. What the hell? Retry. This is two shows in a row. Well,
I got it now.
Jeez, man. Is it that difficult to say click?
It didn't pop up till just now.
Oh, sure.
My panties in a twist.
Okay. Now everybody's on the call all of a sudden, all at once. I mean, the second time around, it worked just fine. Didn't go the first time around.
Mechanical shit.
Yeah.
It's not us.
That's what it is. We'll blame the NSA and we'll move on.
Right?
Right. All right. So now we got everybody on the show. Okay, let's all start chatting.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Lance. Lance, unmute.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can now.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
What's up, Al? What's up?
How was Germany?
Is that Lori? Hey, Lori.
How was
Hello.
Germany? I got to know, man. I got to know. I haven't, I mean, it was texts and stuff. You didn't send a couple video clips. So how was being the gray man from the United States?
It was pretty cool. Did
you enjoy the holiday with folks?
I think I almost got put in a French jail. But other than that, I mean, it was a good trip. They lost I didn't have any luggage for 3 days, and 2 of them in Amsterdam, the pouring down rain, so we had to buy new clothes. But walked around Amsterdam with a lit joint for 2 fucking days in a row. Pretty damn cool. And I'm serious. I had a lit joint in my hand about 2 full days in a row. It was so awesome.
That's sweet. That's
just walking around the town, smoking a big old fucking joint, and everybody else is too.
That's sweet.
It was pretty cool.
Wow, I shrunk the video. I shrunk the picture. That's cool. It's got more of the wall in there, and I look a little bit better now. I think I'm not as pixelated, so that's a good thing. Okay, I had a good time with the mom and dad. Did the holiday stuff, and mom feeling okay?
Yeah.
Good.
Yep. We had Thanksgiving at a old German castle winery that one of the guys that works with my dad rents, from a German. So it was pretty awesome. Like 50 people there.
Very cool. Glad you had a good time. Glad you made it back safe. No jet lag. No, nobody tried.
Oh, yeah. Plenty of jet lag.
Oh, yeah.
We went to Strasbourg, France to the world's largest Christmas market.
Oh, jeez.
And that's where all the guards are. You couldn't walk 2 minutes without seeing 3 armed guards walking around with machine guns.
Now, you're not talking about armed guards. You're talking about military.
Military. I'm talking army.
Yeah,
these are full army guys.
Not armed guards. It wasn't Whacking Hut walking around, folks. It was the military. everywhere.
And police. It was the Polizei and the police. You know, the policia, as they say there. But, you know, they have all these roads, a section of the roads taken out to stop semi-trucks from, you know, driving over people. And it's where the train tracks are. They're anti-terrorist roadblocks.
Oh, God.
And Strasbourg is surrounded by a moat, so there's only one way in and two ways out. And I tried going out one of the ways that you weren't supposed to go out and drove right into two of those terrorist potholes and blocked traffic for 2.5 hours in Strasbourg on a Friday night at rush hour.
Way to go, Lance.
I made the news. I was on the news, man. The train stopped behind me and just turned it off, and everybody had to get off the train and walk by me, and they were all yelling at me and flicking me off and shit.
That's my buddy Lance.
Oh, yeah, yeah. As soon as I did it, they all surrounded me with guns because they thought I was a terrorist. And I'm like, man, I'm a stupid American. I'm sorry.
Why didn't you get all that on video? Why didn't you get all that on video? Or did you just make all that shit up?
I was stressing at the time. But I had my picture taken about 200 times, so I'm sure you could search it and find a photo of an orange Jeep, 2 feet, front two wheels down in a anti-terrorist truck trap.
Oh God. I'm speechless. I'm speechless. I'll turn this over to JR. JR, hey, your comments on Lance's excursion overseas?
I hope it was good. And also,
no stupid fucking American. No, I mean, come on, man. He just told you he screwed up traffic for hours, man. You're not gonna rip into him for being a dumb American.
Well, you do. No.
Lori,
I don't think so. No.
You want to help out, Lori? You want to jump on him? Come on, dogpile on Lance, everybody. Everybody in the chat, dogpile on Lance.
Man, I'll tell you what, that was single-handedly the most embarrassing thing I've ever done in my entire life. I mean, I had to sit there for 2 hours while they got a tow truck to come get me out.
Was it you by yourself, or did you have the whole family with you?
No, my dad. My dad was right behind me. He was in the other car. But, you know, he couldn't go any further than me, so.
Did he slap you in the back of the head, at least?
Oh, no. No, we kind of laughed about it later, but it was pretty fucked up.
Man, oh man! Did you have the lit joint in your hand when you wrecked?
No, not in France. Not in France. I didn't take anything to France. Thank God.
Okay. They can't open smoke over there.
Oh no.
Okay.
But I guarantee you, had I been French, I probably would have been in jail. But they were like stupid Americans.
Fucking Americans. Okay. So what are we going to talk about? I mean, I guess Dave's not going to add into the show. So. What are we going to talk about tonight? Lori and I winged it for last time. You know, it was just
almost didn't make the show. I've been filling out job applications all morning for the Today Show. They got an opening, so I've been filling out trying to get that job.
And a week and a half ago or something, he was hammering Corey Feldman for talking about all the pedophiles and stuff and all the sexual harassment and whatever. He was grilling him and shit. And now, yeah, he loses his job because he was an ass grabber too. I'm telling you, people. I've been saying it for weeks now. This shit's gonna reach out and grab everybody, man. It's gonna grab everybody sooner or later. Maybe not you, but you know what I mean. It's gonna government officials, all the big major media outlets. It's gonna go everywhere.
Can they slow it down before the rest of us, you know, can have some fun before it like stops?
What?
Just go with it. They got to ruin all the fun. That's it, you know?
Ruin all the fun? What are you talking about?
Well, yeah, I have to question whether some of this is just asinine.
We're talking about pedophilia and stuff. You realize that, right? I mean,
no,
were you following the show?
I missed that part. No, I missed that part.
We're talking about Matt Lauer losing his job over being an ass grabber at work and how this is.
That's not pedophilia.
Well, I kind of correlate it to all the Hollywood shit that's going on, and it starts somewhere, right? I mean,
you know, Harvey Weinstein's thanking everybody else that nobody's talking about him anymore.
Oh, that's it, yeah.
He's still under indictment, so, you know, there is that. Anyway, go ahead, Lori. You want to continue on with your, what are you talking about?
Well, I just think there's going to come a point in time where enough is enough. I mean, guys aren't going to be able to breathe without being something shoved up their ass because they did something wrong. And that's coming from a female who understands how some of these very liberal, air quote, girls are.
Feminists, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw a clip. Go ahead.
I grew up back when we had, in the good old days, when we had actual sexual harassment and stuff. But you learn how to take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and I understand there's hardcore stuff out there that needs taken care of. I get that. We've all known about the casting couch for eons. I mean, it's been out there
we talked
forever.
about that on the other show. Yeah. We talked about that on the other show. And everybody
Hollywood,
looked the other way. Everybody just looked the other way. They're like, "Oh, that's the way shit's how that's the way it's done in Hollywood." So. But it was Marilyn. We were thinking, but when I was thinking casting couch, I was thinking Marilyn Monroe, and I was thinking women on the couch, men producers. I wasn't thinking 12-year-old boys on the couch and men producers. You know what I mean? That went that kind of went off the rail.
I agree with that. That's over the top.
Yes. Go ahead.
But I just want to see where it stops, and let's take care of the important stuff and not get it smudged over with some of this nonsense.
Well, and I got to admit that there was something that came out about the whole Project Veritas and them working with some gal that made a bogus claim against this Republican, Democrat, whatever the fuck is. I don't know what. Hey, Dave, welcome to the show, brother. Glad you're feeling better.
Hey, Dave.
We're talking about the whole.
Hey, Dave. What's up, brother, Dave?
Just woke up.
Well, welcome back. We're talking about the Matt Lauer getting canned and how far this is going to reach. Because there is, there's going to be people that are throwing out accusations that are false, right? And it's going to make everybody that has actual claims look bad, and so they're, I don't know.
And they'll drop everything. They'll drop it all.
No, I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening at all. It's just going to poo-poo it in a lot of people's eyes. They're going to be like, oh, God, somebody else making more claims against somebody, That's what will happen. But these people that are under indictment already and the ones that have, like a ton of evidence against them, I don't see that going away at all. Yeah. Not at all. It's seeing too much daylight
what
now.
You said, though. They're going to flood flood the market with it.
Yeah, well, but it's seen too much daylight now. And everybody that comes out from now on is just going to be super vetted. You know what I mean? There's going to be this super, where were you? What happened exactly? Was there anybody else in the room? Did you get it on tape?
Will they, or will it turn into, you too? You too? You too?
No, I don't think so. Because of the feminists coming out of the woodwork and claiming that everybody's, breathing on them wrong or whatever, they won't drop this shit. They won't. They just won't. So
see, this is what happens when you let them out of the kitchen, let them go work, stuff like that.
Hate mail can be addressed to Lance Musser, care of.
I'm sorry, what do you say?
But see, I think the floodgates are
some of them don't pay attention to
now, man. The floodgates are open,
and it's going to start reaching out everywhere and grabbing everything. You know what I mean? It's going to be. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm awfully sorry for jumping in, but
no, you're good. That's why you're on the show. Duh.
I know. Yeah, okay, all right. But listen, you need to draw a line to what you can call acceptable and what's not acceptable. Okay, if you brush past somebody and you catch their breast by mistake, or you actually catch their breasts and they say, "Oh, it's he sexually harassed me by touching my breast," then you're going too far, aren't you?
If you walk by them and this part of your arm touches their boob, that's not grabbing their boob. Now look, if you go up and go, that's sexual harassment.
Times I've been sexually harassed then.
But your boobs are 4.5 feet long. You know, there's people that can't walk by you in an open room. So.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is people can't, touch people anymore. You can't hug somebody. You can't say, "How are you, duck?"
Because
anything like that.
Yeah, because the feminazis have blown everything so far out of proportion.
Because what guy hasn't, given a woman a hug and then just did like a boob slip as they, went to give her a hug? And I mean, come on, really?
I believe all this is serious when Trump goes down for all this too. He shouldn't be immune from this bullshit.
Hey, he's got accusations against him. What happened to all those? I mean, he's got
12 women against him, and they all signed non-disclosure agreements with him. They put themselves in fucking jeopardy. But I mean, just the tape alone of him saying he wants to grab pussy is enough to put him. There's all kinds of reports from past Miss America contestants of him walking in on them while they're changing and being totally inappropriate with all of them. There's until I see him go down, this ain't. I don't know. I get so pissed off when I see this, thinking that the president is just as bad as these other fuckers.
He is. He was like we've said it multiple times on this show. He was on the Lolita Express more than anybody else. Not more than anybody else, but just as much as anybody else, just as many times as Clinton. And where's Jeffrey Epstein? Why isn't he under indictment? Why aren't people asking him questions? Hey, man, when Trump got on the plane, where'd you guys go? Who else was on the plane with you when Trump was on the plane?
Why isn't Joe Biden being investigated? Why isn't Bill Clinton being investigated?
Right.
What really burns me up?
There's certain people that people know are pervs, that the evidence is out there, but they're so powerful they just can't be touched. These ones like Bill Clinton and Biden and so on. When you see these fuckers standing here, they're that powerful where no one can touch them yet.
Yeah, I'm not thinking that nobody's untouchable, right? Maybe a Rothschild will be untouchable. Or someone like that, but I don't think anybody else, anybody in the United States right now, they are bound to be thrown under the bus. Because
I think they could be thrown under the bus, but it's going to have to be at a higher level.
Well, I'm telling and I think that's why a bunch of this shit's coming out, because it's all distraction, right? Why did North Korea fire a fucking missile today? Distraction. It's I don't know. But I'm telling you, we have not heard the last of this for a long. This is going to go on through Christmas. It's going to go on into the new year. There's going to be accusations against hundreds and hundreds of new people coming out. I promise you. Well,
it's even like here in Fargo, one of who was it? Some kind of a school teacher. Somebody just had to step down from their position because of harassment.
That's what I'm saying. It's going to get into everything. It's going to get into local politics. It's going to get into mass media. You watch, man. It's going worldwide.
I guess this one, I don't know, he worked for the school board, always was seducing his secretaries, and they finally called him out. Now he's had to step down the other day.
Yeah, well, who was it? The mayor of Seattle or something just stepped down a couple weeks ago, last week? Something like that, because he had 13 or more than 2 handfuls of accusations. So there you go. It's going to start hitting a lot of places, and it's going to start hitting closer to home to some of you folks, I think.
I look at this more as a feminist movement, man. I really do. The women aren't taking it anymore.
Well, I don't know so much about
foul.
Yeah,
I think you're seeing an indirect feminist movement, because this is what it comes down to: women saying, we don't care anymore, and you're going to see more women come out against more men. And
well, it's all it takes is one. It's like a floodgate. When one of them comes out and she stands up and says, damn it, I've had enough, that gives other ones the will, or the little motivational push that they needed.
Well, I think some women were absolutely disgusted when Donald Trump got elected president, knowing his past sexual behavior.
Grab him by the
pussy. Him getting elected set it off.
Yeah.
It is exactly right. A lot of women are pissed that he got elected knowing his past behavior.
A lot of men are pissed too, right? I mean, I heard one talk today on YouTube. The more I hear him talk and tweet, the more I can't believe he's my president.
Oh, yeah.
So
look what he said today. He's retweeting anti-Muslim messages put out by this right-winger over in Europe. That
2 of the videos have been proven to be fake.
Yeah.
One of them was from like 2003. So,
He can't be doing stuff like that as president. You just can't.
Right.
Yeah, the retweets were from a far-right group in the UK called Britain First. And
but one of them was like a video from 03 in Egypt where they were tossing people off the roof of a building or something. That was some kind of uprising, that was more than 10 years ago. So I just don't, whatever.
Well, that Britain First group were
far-right,
were accused of killing that Labour MP Jo Cox. So
stabbed her in the fucking neck right in front of everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. While he's screaming Britain First.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. Stupid mother.
You just can't have presidents retweeting stuff like that. I mean, he's got a mentality, and I don't like Hillary Clinton either. Don't get me wrong. I know there were two puppets in this election, and if you really believe your vote counts, you went and you voted for one of these clowns. No. And either way, we were screwed this time around, big time. I mean, these were two of the biggest
every
puppets.
time, though, man. I mean, come on. Once you
two of the biggest puppets that they could have put. That the elite really played everybody this election cycle. There was
every election cycle, man. It's never been different, dude. You can go back to Reagan. You can go back to whoever.
I agree with that, but what I'm
Gerald Ford. Come on, man. The guy couldn't walk down a fucking flight of stairs. You really think he deserved to be leading the country? For Christ's sake,
what I'm saying is the puppets that they have in this time around. I'm not saying they all weren't. They absolutely were. Yeah. But what I'm saying is the two puppets with Clinton and Trump that they put in this time around, they set up a very bad scenario for this country. Trump was the puppet to be put in by the Rothschilds to divide and to get shit getting crazy over here. Clinton would have served the Bilderbergs. I talk about that all the time.
But the Bilderbergs are the Rothschilds. You know what I mean? That they all run the same circles and shit. It wouldn't have mattered who came in. It would
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, the only difference would have been the time scenario of things going down. You know what I mean? Under Trump's watch, more people have been drone bombed than under Obama's watch. You know what I mean? In the first 12 months or whatever, it's not even close.
They need a civil war in this nation to achieve what they want to achieve. They need us just absolutely blasting each other on the streets. They need race wars over here. They need more cops getting killed. And this is what we're at, and we're leading up to a big, ugly fucking war over here, and people are letting it happen.
Yep.
Trump was put in for a reason, and that was to kick this civil war off.
Division.
Big, that's what I'm saying. He was the puppet put in to divide this nation. He knew what he had to do when he got the job.
And we've been talking about it since Trayvon Martin.
Each president just adds to the fire that the last president left.
Yeah.
That they were smart when they put Obama in office because they knew with a half-black president for 8 years, there was going to be some pissed-off white folks the next cycle around.
They were kind of hoping for that. They were kind of hoping for the race war, and they were like, okay, well, obviously these guys aren't going to try to kill you or anything, and we're not really getting any, so just go ahead and double the debt, please. And bang, there he goes. They double the debt. See if you can spend $10 trillion, please.
Like I said, we were screwed either way with Clinton or Trump. There was no way out of this. It was going to go one way or the other.
Yeah.
If
Hitler was in office, I believe we would already be neck deep in World War III.
Yeah, I believe that, but I believe it's coming with Trump also.
Oh fuck yeah, man! Well, let's dive on into that. Wait a minute. Any comments from the rest of the gallery about anything we've discussed so far, and then we're going to dive into some headlines or whatever.
Nope, I'm happy.
No. As long as we hit on the royal wedding later, I'm good.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, great.
Okie dokie. David, let's talk about North Korea.
All right, it's an interesting scenario taking place. Little Kim launched this missile. This missile, they said,
ICBM.
They said that no intelligence service in the world, and this is what they're saying, knew that this missile that he launched yesterday existed.
It's because he just bought it from Iran.
What's that?
It's because he just bought it from Iran.
Well, it's their biggest missile yet. The thing, he shot it straight up in the, kind of a trajectory, straight up in the air with a curve to it, enough where it, it landed outside Japan there.
2,600
And it was
miles.
up for, what they say, 54 minutes this thing was in the air.
2,600 miles, they said it went up in the air.
Jesus Christ.
And then 600 miles downrange.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that was a direct kick in the nuts to the world, man, saying, look, I can do it.
Somebody said, I was watching a couple of clips just before the show. Somebody said that if this would have flown on an intercontinental trajectory, it could have reached D.C.
Yeah, easily.
Anywhere in the continental United States, they said, is vulnerable to this missile.
They said about the only country that's not safe from this missile right here is South America.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Yeah.
Maybe parts of Australia.
Quite frankly, it could have been a bottle rocket that they shot up. And if the news wanted to say that it went 2,600 miles up in the air and it could reach New York City, then that's what they're going to tell you. But it could have been a bottle rocket.
Well, of course, the government would have told the news to say that.
Right.
As a boogie thing, but I think he can do this. I do. And the deal is, what I've been paying attention to is this. Not only are they saying North Korea is a threat to us nuclear-wise. Now, what the mainstream media is not talking about, what people aren't being told, is the main concern with America with North Korea, and this is the narrative, is we're worried if they get nuclear weapons. We're not so much worried about getting nuked. We're more worried about them developing nukes and selling them on the black market because they're notorious on the black market.
To who?
Don't ask me. I don't know. I'm just saying what the narrative is.
Right, I know, but I'm just saying that the black market is already out there for nukes anyway, right? I mean,
basically they'd sell to the highest bidder. Maybe they discount them just to make money because of so many sanctions on them.
True.
They'll say, all right, well, this country wants to give you a nuke for this much. We'll give you one for half the price.
True.
And so they said that this is the main worry behind the scenes that the people aren't being told about is we're not so worried about being nuked. We're worried about them selling their expertise on the black market and selling them to quote unquote what one news person said today, ISIS and or Al Qaeda or anybody else that hates us.
ISIS gets all their weapons from the CIA.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just quoting what they said.
So if the CIA starts buying some shit from Little Kim, then we know some sneaky shit's going on.
So that's the bigger concern is that aspect of it.
Right.
That's the behind the scenes stuff that people aren't really seeing is we're worried about their business dealings if they do get nuclear, which they've already got nuclear technology. But if they can develop a perfect missile that, that can survive re-entry, which we don't know if this missile they shot yesterday survived re-entry. They said it landed in 3 pieces, but it was a 3-stage rocket.
Well, they said it landed inside the economic zone for Japan. Yeah, 600 miles or something.
And it was also reported that they lost communication with it halfway in its flight. So it went up halfway, and they lost all communication. And then probably they regained communication when it was halfway down. I don't know.
But if they, and on top of that, it's a mobile launcher that this came off of, which makes it harder for our jets to track. Mobile launchers are a lot harder to hit than stationary launching pads.
Oh, yeah, because they can set up and launch in less than 15 minutes.
Yeah. They got this technology there from Russia.
Yep. And Russia's pretty damn good at that.
Yep. They got their mobile technology straight from Russia.
Oops.
And they've got, and that's what makes North Korea dangerous. They've got Russia technology, they've got Chinese technology, they've got American technology. They've got a little bit of everybody over there.
Yep. And they've got a bunch of fanatical people.
What you need to watch, this is the key point I want to make here. Trump came out tonight and called him Little Rocket Man again, called him something else in his economic speech he was giving in Missouri today.
Grow up, Trump.
Yeah, and he said it, and he just kind of leaned back, waiting for the applause when he said it, because he knew his little minions there would do it for him.
Yeah. He's so funny.
Trump is going to start a war, and he wants the patriotic feeling of this. He believes that he can, he stands for the patriotic Americans of this country, and we need a good old war to wave that red, white, and blue and chant USA.
Yeah, just like they did after 9/11.
It's not going to be like that. We're going to get smoked over here in the end.
Right.
And this is what people that are so blinded by patriotism. You know, I'm a vet, you're a vet, and I know Lance is a vet. Patriotism's fine, but you know, hundreds and thousands of millions of dead people and soldiers aren't. You know, and these Trump people don't seem to get that aspect of it. A lot of people are going to fucking die in a war with North Korea.
Right. And it's not just going to be our soldiers, because we're going to wind up catching some flack over here on the mainland.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Russia and China got subs off our coast. Russia always has like at least 3 subs off our coast. China always has subs off our coast.
As soon as the war kicks off, Iran's going to be neck deep in it too. You know, because they're itching. They're itching to come over here and start some shit. You know, and they'd be like, "Okay, Katie, bar the door."
You know, let me get into this. There's a big drill with South Korea on the Korean Peninsula that's going to start December 4th through the 8th.
And that's why Kim supposedly launched this rocket. Because he was getting pissed off. You know, he was like, "You guys keep doing the drills, blah, blah, blah." And, you know, I saw that before the show, too. Go ahead. Sorry.
So December 4th through the 8th, it's going to involve 12,000 troops. It's going to involve 250 jets. And it's the biggest one we've ever had with South Korea. The majority is going to be our stuff. And in South Korea, I think Japan may even participate in there. This is just right on the back of the 3 carrier drill we just had off of the coast of North Korea last week.
Sorry, that's all our military over there screwing around.
And so, you know, they're going to have this drill. And the big thing is this. You know, tonight was an emergency UN meeting called by South Korea over that rocket firing. And I watched it live. And the deal is this. You got Nikki Haley coming straight out and saying, "We don't seek war, we don't want war, but war is coming." That's what her exact words were. She's like, "China, if you don't cut off your every bit of oil that you give to North Korea, war is coming." Basically, if you don't do everything you can do here, like in the next couple weeks, war is coming.
Who do we think we are? You know, I can't wrap my head around some doofus, which Nikki Haley is a complete doofus. I'm sorry for all you people out there, anybody that likes her or whatever. She is just a complete puppet, man. I mean, anyway, where do we get off telling China anything?
Exactly it. You know, what's his name? Is it Tillerson? I believe Rex Tillerson, our Secretary of State. He's calling for a complete naval embargo on North Korea. And that's going around right now, that he's trying to get a lot, try to get some backing behind, but he's looking for a complete, naval blockade, which is an act of war on North Korea. But what's interesting is this drill I was just talking about. Russia came out tonight in that UN meeting, and this is what they said. They said Russia calls on U.S. South Korea not to hold military drills in December. It says Russia's UN ambassador called on North Korea today to stop its missile and nuclear test, and for the United States and South Korea not to hold military drills in December.
Because all we're doing is egging him on.
As it would inflame an already explosive situation.
And they're doing it on purpose. That's why they're doing it.
Russia said, "We strongly call on all concerned parties to stop the spiral of tension. It is essential to take a step back and weigh the consequences of each move." This is serious, people. There's a lot of shit going behind the scenes that we don't see. And this is, we're fixing to go to war with North Korea. And Russia sees it, China sees it, and they're going to take North Korea's side. So we're just not, for other people out there that think we should go blast little Kim. Not that I think he's a good guy, because I don't. But what I do believe is this. It's not just going to be North Korea that we fight. Russia came out last week and said this will be, Sergei Lavrov, the foreign minister of Russia, came out last week and said that this will be an apocalyptic war with North Korea. Apocalyptic meaning nukes will be used. This is dead. This is dead serious. Dead serious. And so while people think we should take care of this fucking guy, No, we're going to be fighting Russia. We're going to be fighting China. Israel, Iran, Saudi Arabia, they're going to go at it. Russia's going to blow through Ukraine toward friggin' the Baltics. NATO's going to meet them right there. That's going to be a bad war on that side of it. This ain't going to be just one war. Once it starts with North Korea, this is going to spiral out so fast people won't be able to think straight.
Addie brought up a good point in the room, too. It's going to cause a food issue because China supplies a lot of our food over here.
Yep.
And and in the UK as well.
Yeah. See, so, she says that's going to kill even more
That's
Americans.
the downside, relying on another country to supply your goods. Okay?
Yeah, we've been saying for a long time, start a garden, buy seeds.
Exactly. Well, no. Not only that, internal farming.
Learn how to kill.
If your country's big enough and you can sustain your own people, then, internal farming, and don't rely on imports from the EU or China or
all of our internal farming
elsewhere.
is owned by Monsanto. So, you die when you eat that shit too.
And also, with regards to North Korea, I think the most dangerous bit about North Korea is if any war does break out with North Korea, it will be a war against communism. And that's what will bring in China and Russia. Because if Kim is defeated, the next targets will be China and it will be Russia. So they'll see it as a war against a state of or a communist state, okay, and they will be threatened. So they will step in to support a communist friend, which is North Korea.
Well, that's exactly it, and that's why North Korea's ambassador met with Cuba's ambassador last week. North Korea flew to Cuba to get an ally from them, making sure they're still together. Russia has bases in Cuba still.
They turned on Big Ear, in 2015 or something. They went back over there and put millions of dollars back into the Big Ear program and turned all that shit back on. They've got a sub base there with nuclear subs.
Yep.
So,
and that's right off our coast there.
Yeah.
And so Russia's got a checkmate there. They're like, all right, we got a base right off your east coast.
Does anybody remember last year when they came out and said, we had a nuclear sub sitting in the Gulf of Mexico about 200 miles off the coast of Houston for like 6 months?
Yep.
And nobody knew anything about it?
Well, there you go.
Russia sends its spy ship over here off our coast all the time.
Yeah.
And it just sits there. Russia, Putin don't care. That ship will just sit there for 3 weeks facing our east coast right on the international waters, just smiling at us.
Mm-hmm. Listening to all of our electronic shit.
Yep, listening to everything, and we know it. And the deal is,
they still do the overflights, too.
Well, what people also don't realize is Iran came out this week, and they told the European Union that if you extend the missile shield here in your country, we're going to extend the distance of our missiles. And so the deal is Iran can already hit the EU. The deal is they stopped, and they're basically threatening to fully advance their missiles as good as they can, which they can already. So basically they're telling Europe, all right, we're just going to turn the dial up here a little bit more, and now we can hit you with missiles.
PMG, hang on a second. I want to address something in the room here now. PMG says China would starve without American pork and grain, etc. Smithfield's owned by China. Smithfield's the largest hog producer in America. That's true, because we don't allow them to import their pork into the U.S. So they bought Smithfield so that they can still have the pork sales in the U.S. It's got nothing to do with them needing our pork. They've got their own hog farms over in China. There's nothing that the U.S. produces that China needs. Nothing.
No.
So I don't know where you're getting your information from, PMG, and I'm not calling you wrong. I'm just saying I don't see where you're getting that from. You're going to have to show me something on that. Anyway,
China relies on us to buy their shit. I agree with that.
But they don't. There's nothing that the U.S. produces that the Chinese rely on. Nothing.
No, and on top of that, we're $1.4 trillion in the hole to China.
Oh, I think it's more than that.
Yeah, probably more than that now, 1.6 maybe. But the deal is
they've been dumping U.S. bonds and stuff that they've been holding forever for a long time, years and years. They've been dumping bonds, $500 million in 1 year I know of. They've been going down to Australia and buying mines with the shit. They've been going down to South America and helping out with infrastructure. They've been going over to Africa and buying up shit and helping with infrastructure over there. So yeah, they're becoming.
China just had a big live fire drill over in their base over in Africa, biggest one they've ever had.
They're becoming a major world player because the United States is on its way out.
Yeah, we're dwindling and they're on the uprise, and so is Russia.
China is the largest importer of American grain to feed their livestock. I'm sure that Russia will step in and cover that.
America's not needed anymore. I don't care what so many chest-thumping, patriotic Americans think. And as much as I love this nation, and I was willing to sacrifice myself for this nation, but this nation's been run into the fucking ground and pulverized, and it's not needed anymore.
No.
No one really depends on us as much as people would like to think.
They're scared of us. And not so much anymore. They were. We were the United Empire.
Well, on top of that, Trump is a staunch isolationist, and since he's came in, he's gone out of his way to isolate us from the rest of the world, and so that plays a part of it too.
Yeah,
he's a staunch isolationist. He thinks that we're going to be better off having no connections with anybody else in this world, and it just don't work that way. It's the 21st century.
Well, I got to say something though about that. I think that we need to take a step back on the world stage until we get our shit together here. If that's what's going to happen,
I think we already have, but not purposely though.
Well, yeah, but we're not doing the things in this country that we need to do, right? I mean, when we take a step back from the world stage, all the money that goes to these countries that don't really need it and whatever, that money needs to be spent here, updating our infrastructure, getting this country back on its feet, putting people back to work. But is it going to
matter when we're blown up?
No, but I'm just saying if things miraculously turn around, you know what I mean? That's what needs to be done. And that's the only time that I would agree with being partially isolationist.
Yeah, and I'm not saying it's such a awful God thing.
No.
But there's just certain things these days you can't break away from without causing a rippling effect.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Because everything's on the petrodollar, and once the petrodollar falls, it's not just going to affect the U.S., it's going to affect every NATO nation out there that has their shit tied to the petrodollar. Unless they start, incrementally changing over or whatever and buying yuan or I guess they got a gold-backed ruble now, so they can do, whatever. I don't know. I don't know how all that financial shit's going to play out. Lance does.
There's another story here that came out tonight from Fox, and it says, forget it. Bolton says U.S. running out of diplomatic options with North Korea. Now, I hate John Bolton. I couldn't stand this guy. I just don't like him. But the deal is this, he's a foreign policy advisor to Trump, and Trump relies on him for his military knowledge of North Korea and Iran.
Oh.
And so Bolton went on Fox this morning. This is what he said. It says, former UN Ambassador John Bolton said today that diplomatic solutions are running out after North Korea fired a new kind of intercontinental ballistic missile. And it says the missile was a Hwasong-15, can be armed with a nuclear warhead and could strike the U.S. mainland. He went on to say that options are completely pretty much done. He said trying to do economic sanctions now is too late. There isn't enough time for economic sanctions to have their effect. If they haven't had effect by now, they're not. And that basically the only way they can prevent war now is to have China put absolute pressure on there, which he doesn't see China doing. So he says that, they're going to have a deliverable nuke with an ICBM, and these assessments get shorter and shorter, because this missile that happened yesterday, like I said, was a missile that we're claiming we didn't know nothing about. Right. Whether it's true or not, who knows?
So there goes our military intelligence.
His nuclear program is way ahead than what they thought.
Yes, so much for our military intelligence.
Yep. And so they're saying by the beginning of next year, 2018, he will be able to nuke any city he wants in the United States.
Merry Christmas, everybody!
This is the way I see it. Okay. He's getting nukes, and I think the United States know that, and I think they might let him get them, because the whole idea of Kim getting nukes is so we can go to the negotiating table and say, Luke, I'm not going to be bullied by you, America, because the first thing America says is, we've got nukes, you do as we say. Okay? What will happen is...
Paper tiger. Sorry, go ahead.
That's okay. What would happen is, he will go to the negotiating table and say, look, we've got nukes as well, we can nuke your country. Like you can nuke our country. We are a level playing field. Let's sit down, let's talk like proper people. We want...
My daddy can beat your daddy.
What you want.
My daddy's tougher than your daddy.
Well, that's it. Well, that's his. That's Trump's. Ideology, isn't it?
Right.
Okay.
Well, that's little Kim's ideology too. I'm starting to think.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because they both act like a couple of 10-year-olds.
Yeah, it's two people.
Right. With really two people with really shitty hair that have nuclear weapons at their disposal.
It's scary. It's very scary.
Yeah.
Well, see, this is what Nikki Haley said today. One of the things she said over the UN, she says the dictator of North Korea made a choice yesterday that brings the world closer to war. We have never sought war with North Korea. And if war does come, it will because of continued acts of aggression like we witnessed yesterday.
They've always been at war.
She is such a puppet that I'm amazed that she can sit down with the hand shoved up her ass. You know what I mean? I couldn't stand that chick when she was the governor of wherever the fuck she came from, and I can't stand her now.
Well, the thing with North Korea is they've never had an armistice, so they're technically still at war. So war can't break out. They are still at war.
There's a demilitarized zone between North and South that constitutes a conflict still in existence.
Yeah, but there was no armistice signed.
No, never. And they hate the U.S. Everybody in that country hates the U.S. because of the sanctions and shit we've had on them for my entire lifetime.
Well, I'm lying.
You know what I mean? So it's not, I mean, even if, I'm just saying, we go boots on the ground there, it's not going to be like Vietnam. They're not going to walk through friendly villages. If they walk, they're going to get stomped on by locals. So
if they can do it, if they've got the energy. See, our of them are dying of malnutrition.
Well, that's what you read in the papers and stuff, man. You know, that all could be propaganda. That all could be propaganda.
Jimmy, wait, how can that general or that soldier who defected, he was in the army, who are normally treated better than the people of North Korea. He had more parasites in his body. He had...
According to the paper that you read, dude. I don't put my stock in anything. I don't put my stock in anything that came from the mainstream. Nothing. I don't believe it. I don't.
It's from South Korea, and they had video evidence of it. Okay. It could be faked, but
right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't believe anything I see. I don't believe anything I hear. I don't believe anything I read until I vet it myself. And that could have all been staged.
And I fully agree with you.
Speaking of staged events, I'm just going to jump down a rabbit hole here real quick. Did they ever find the Argentinian sub?
No. They reported a big boom. And what they seem to think is water leaked into the housing of the sub, and water got in contact with the battery, which shorted it out and blew it up. And there was a big bang. They picked up a signal on a sonar that said or indicated that there was a large explosion, which was a characteristic of a big boom underwater. So see, they have radars which monitor the sea for underwater nuclear explosions, and it picked up a strange anomaly,
which could have been a volcano,
indicated of a big boom.
Right, it could have been a volcano underwater exploding somewhere on the rift or whatever.
No.
Okay.
It was just a sudden spike, and it went down. And they previously reported eruption. They previously reported in to say that they were having battery trouble. That was their last transmission.
Oh, okay.
So
I just want, because I haven't heard anything. You know, all of a sudden, the entire world was going to go out and help these people find this lost sub, and it was all the talk for like 5 or 6, maybe a week. You know, maybe a week,
and I was going to be quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just wanted to jump down that rabbit hole really quick and get a finalization to that one. Anyway, go ahead. You were talking about North Korean defectors. Yeah, go ahead.
Me? Oh yeah. Basically, that chap who popped over the border, and thankfully he is now going to survive. He was shot up, something shocking, but
that's awesome. I'm glad they got all the worms
and
out of his butt.
Actually found freedom, but it was crazy how we did it. See, he hid out in a it's like a freedom building they've got on the border on the DMZ. There's a...
Say that again, man. I love the way you guys say Z. DMZ.
DMZ.
Go ahead.
Z. Mm-hmm. The DMZ, yeah. And he crossed over there, and
I saw the footage. Yeah, he was driving the Jeep and getting shot at and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he made a massive bid for freedom, but he was shot up.
I got to tell you,
his way into this building, which is on the DMZ.
The thermal footage of the South Korean guy crawling across, that was just riveting, man. You know, the way they put that. Yeah,
great.
Yeah, that was amazing. And anyway, go ahead.
And also,
almost
the
like
question
it was
is now,
made for television.
What happened to all those soldiers which tried to shoot him?
Nothing.
And it didn't succeed.
Yeah,
Are they now dead?
NATO gave him a little, hey, you guys better not shoot across the border again. And that was it.
No, but did Kim shoot them because they failed on their task?
Oh, shit, I don't know, man. He might have put them underneath the missile when it was getting launched yesterday.
Hopefully. Well, no, hopefully, yeah. But,
had them strapped down in their recliners underneath the... Now watch the rocket!
But yeah, this defector got shot up. He lay down in a ditch or somewhere for a bit.
Yeah, he was hit 5 times, and he was laying there for 45 minutes or so. How long was that, David? How long was he laying there before they crawled over to him?
I think 45 minutes.
Yeah. After being shot 5 times with a 308. Whew, that guy's lucky. Yeah, must have caught it in a parasite. Didn't do much damage.
Or he shot a parasite anyway.
He
stored himself into a building, and he sat there for a bit.
That guy was Jason Bourne-ish.
I think they called him the Freedom Buildings in the DMZ anyway. And he threw himself in there. He hunkered down in there, and they found him in that building. And they actually showed pictures of the shots over the DMZ, over the
marvelous.
The de facto line of where they cannot cross, and they even showed a soldier crossing that line.
I got to tell you, I got to tell you, I got to give all the props in the world to the South Korean border guards for not blasting the shit out of him as he was running for them at 70 miles an hour in a Jeep. You know what I mean? It amazes me that they didn't just plug that Jeep full of holes before it made it to the line. That's another thing that just makes me completely think that it's total bullshit.
Well,
total bullshit. Sorry, David, back me up on this, man. That the more you look at this incident, the more it seems to be complete horseshit.
I guess I really haven't watched the video that well or anything, so
just the fact that they didn't bust that Jeep up with some automatic gunfire as it was running for them, that just boggles me. It could have been a car bomb for all they knew, right? I mean, it was just running for whatever. I just don't buy it, man. For whatever reason, I don't buy it. Lori, did you buy it? Lori?
I don't really buy anything I see on the news.
Okay. Obviously, you weren't paying attention to the conversation.
Yeah, I was. You were talking about the Jeep with the guy that went from the north to the south.
Okay. Yeah, you were paying attention. That's great.
I'm multitasking.
Awesome. Are you still cooking or are you drinking now?
I'm doing multiple things.
Because the sausage just looked pretty good. I got to tell you.
Sausage casserole.
Yeah.
Something like that.
It was nice. I like sausage casserole. It's okay.
Lance, did you buy the whole North-South Korea thingy? The border jumper?
Lance?
Yeah, I'm trying to get it off mute.
Okay.
I did. I mean, I saw it go down while I was over there in Europe. I thought it was a little hinky where the Jeep crashed and they got out and that guy, just laid down in the bushes and started shooting at him and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't get him, being that close. I'm not sure how he made it over there when they were that close to.
I mean, they got
him.
They had to have went to the stormtrooper school of shooting or something, because the one guy fired 20 times. The South Korean guy fired back at the North Korean guy 20 times and didn't hit the motherfucker. So whatever. I just didn't. I didn't buy it. There's two things. He got hit 5 times with a 308, laid on the ground for 45 minutes and lived. I mean, come on, man. Did he get shot in the pinky toe or something? I don't know. And number 2, the whole, low crawl on video, but it had to be thermal imaging to make it look more dramatic or whatever. I don't know. And number 3, there's 3. They didn't shoot that fucking Jeep full of holes when it was running for them.
I think they were shocked. I think it was like an element of surprise. So he was a driver for North Korea's top negotiator or something. And it completely caught them by surprise when he made a charge for the North Korean border. In fact, it was reported that he was a big fan of Jason Statham in Transporter.
Oh, jeez. I didn't think they got to watch movies over there. I didn't think they get to watch movies over in North Korea. How can he know who Jason Statham is?
Well, if
is he on Twitter?
The elites, or if you're in the army, then you probably get certain privileges that the peasants don't get.
Okay. Moving on. Let's move on to another story or something. David, you got anything else over there?
Well, I guess another thing that Nikki Haley said, her exact words, said she said that the U.S. has warned North Korean leadership they will be utterly destroyed in the case of war.
Yeah, didn't Trump say it was going to be like fire and whatever that the world's never seen or something? He had a really, really, Hollywoodish line for that one.
So anyway.
This is like imminent now, hey?
Well, we don't start. It's going to be interesting because now that Russia asked us not to have that drill the first week of December, if we go ahead and have it, because you better believe if we don't have it, people are going to come after Trump and call him a puppet of Putin. And if we do have it, well, this could bring us to war.
There's always a bit of war.
I think Russia knew that this drill was probably going to be our preemptive strike. I think Russia figured it out, saying, hey, whether he shot this missile or not, we were already planning this drill. And I'm sure maybe they caught on some intelligence saying, hey, America's getting ready to do something crazy.
If there's a preemptive strike, China said they were going to be stepping on us.
Yep.
So
that's what they said, too. Man.
Flick boogers. You guys up there on Capitol Hill keep flicking boogers at people that are bigger than us, man. You guys are going to make us pay the price.
Well, you got Lindsey Graham that came out, too, yesterday, right after this missile launch. He went on CNN, went on Fox, went on every news station there was. As you know, he's a big war hawk like John McCain. And he came straight out and said that I talked to, me and Trump. Basically, he's one of Trump's point guys and over in the Senate to talk to about Iran and North Korea. And he said, I'm just relaying a message from President Trump that this isn't looking good, basically. We're fixing to go somewhere. He said, they asked him, do you know how many South Koreans are going to die in Seoul within the first hour of just a conventional war? And he went, absolutely, we know. There could be up to 10 million dead. He said, but what do we want, 10 million dead over there or 100 million dead over here?
Because they've got 150 artillery pieces pointed
Yeah.
And that
but
already.
That's how cold they're being now. With Lindsey Graham saying, we would rather see 10 million dead South Koreans than 100 million dead Americans.
Well, when what's her face was asked about the 500,000 dead babies in Iraq, she was like, "Well, I think it was worth it." Who was that said that shit? One of our fucking Secretary of State.
I know. I remember hearing that.
Yeah. So that's all. It's just human sacrifice, man.
And that's like Hillary Clinton
God.
We saw he died.
Right.
That's how they feel about it. They don't care. These people running these wars don't give a fuck who dies.
No, they just stand there and go, "Hail Satan!"
And you got Graham saying, "Oh, it's cool. It's not bad if 10 million Koreans die, but if 100 million Americans die from a nuclear attack, now that's tragic." As much as I want to say, yeah, America, but fuck that. I don't want to see 10 million dead South Koreans for no. And the deal is, Moon there is a liberal, and he doesn't want a war. He keeps making it publicly known there'll be no new war on the Korean Peninsula, but he also knows that if we want a war, we're going to have it. And he knows that.
He ain't got the final say.
No, he doesn't have the final say no matter what. And his people are in great danger right now because of America and the powers that be. This is our next target.
If he starts bitching loud enough for stomping his feet or whatever, they'll take him out from the inside. Somebody will smoke him.
We're going to let Israel and Saudi handle Iran. If Iran gets squirrely after this stuff with North Korea begins, we're going to let them deal with that. We're
Saudi Arabia, North Korea. Saudi Arabia couldn't even handle Yemen.
Yeah, I agree with you. I absolutely.
And I don't think that Israel's got I don't think they've got a snowball's chance in hell of getting past those S-400s once they get turned on the border. Unless they got people on the ground inside already.
Breaks up between Israel and Iran, you're just going to see nukes flying. I don't think Israel will waste any time with conventional weapons. They'll just fucking try to nuke Tehran.
Stupid.
And now we've got a permanent base we just opened in Israel too, with thousands of troops stationed over there now. It's a regular military base where we're going to rotate troops in and out of now over in Israel toward the desert.
That's because we're moving the embassy to Jerusalem.
Well, that's it. That came. I was going to read that story here. I got it.
Go for it.
They're saying that Trump is. Pence gave the hint that Trump was going to do this move with the embassy, since that was one of his biggest things when he was running for president. It was one of the biggest things. They got AIPAC on board with him, gave them all their money, and it was to move the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. And so, he came out in the beginning a couple months ago and said, well, I think I'm going to wait until we can try to get some
boy, did that piss some people off, man.
Well, they said they wanted to wait because they want to see how the Mideast peace talks went between the powers. Now that, they see it's not going to work, which anybody knew that Kushner wasn't going to fix anything.
And he was just over there to sell some weapons.
Yeah. And so now it comes out there's hinting that it's going to be this Sunday he's going to make the announcement. Now, the White House has been contacted. They have no comment. Israel's putting it out there. Their Channel 2 News and other agencies saying that it's good chance he's going to announce it this Sunday that Jerusalem will be the new capital of Israel, which is going to inflame a lot of people over there. A lot of people. You're talking the Palestinians, the Jordanians aren't completely on board with that. The Saudis, I don't think really give a shit. But the deal is, you're going to inflame with some Arabs over there. You're going to inflame definitely all the Palestinians, all the Iranian-backed militias over there. They know that this is going to piss Iran off to no end. And so this is basically a thumb into Iran's eye by doing this. And so they're gearing up for this war, man. There's not too much more that this world can take from these big moves that America's doing right now. We are doing the moves.
This is not going to be good.
We're doing the moves. And so, Israel just announced that they got their new Iron Dome for all their Navy ships all fully installed now, and it's fully functional. They got them guarding their oil wells out in the Mediterranean now. So they gave the thumbs up saying, all right, Trump, we're fully protected now.
Arrogant fuckers who are.
Yeah. And so this is coming. And like I said, we've been building up since I've been doing my in-game stuff since 2000. We've been doing it online since 2007. Every year we get closer and closer and closer and closer. And when you don't think we can get any closer, we can still get closer. But I tell you what, this is the closest we've ever been. I don't think anything's going to stop this. I mean, it's just not. Our government's in chaos right now. We're $20 trillion in debt. Our military's just beat up, worn out.
Lance, you better be careful, dude. She'll reach through that fucking screen and snatch a hole in your ass. But oh shit! Sorry, that had nothing to do with you, David.
It's not a good situation, and I don't see anything slowing down. Seems like we're moving full speed ahead on all fronts. I mean, Ukraine's heating up again big time.
Rocket sled style, man.
And
they're pushing all kinds of agendas too. They're pushing this robotics agenda too. Have you guys been watching all the reading all the news stories about how everybody's job's going to be replaced by 2025 with a fucking robot? Yep. So the whole transhumanism agenda is going full speed ahead too. I just wanted to throw that rabbit hole out for everybody if they want to type that into their Google. But anyway, continue with World War III.
That's the big thing with that. Some people don't realize is that Iran has a base in Venezuela, and they've had it there for many years now. It's a missile base, and there's missiles on there that Iran claims the Shahab 3s. They're long-range missiles that can hit the East Coast, specifically Florida. And we've known the base has been there. Our government's never tried to hide that Iran's had a base there. It just don't get talked about. But they've got a big missile base there that the president before this last one, Chavez, allowed Iran to have there. And then, that's something that people need to be aware about. There's missiles pointed right at our East Coast just from Venezuela. There's more missiles pointed at us from Cuba still.
There's also a couple of new Iranian bases in Syria. So
Russia's moved a lot of stuff in the Arctic, and a lot of their portable Topol 3 or Topol missiles that they can launch
right over the top of Canada.
Launchers over the Arctic, right into the top of us.
Yep, up there by you.
Yep, they can launch their ICBM straight over the Arctic there and straight into us.
You guys got, out to your west, dude. There's a ton of fucking missile silos in the ground.
Well, North Dakota, where I live, we used to have the most in the country, and then throughout the after the Cold War, they started closing a bunch of them up and pulling the missiles out. And there's a couple silos. I've visited a couple here where you can go down inside the command area and all that and look around. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, they've sold some of them.
There's
people who make underground houses out of them.
Have you still got the Minot Air Base?
Yeah, Minot is our big, is our base. It's our is it B-52s now?
B-52s fly out of there. B-1s fly out of there.
B-1s, and the deal is they've got silos up by there too. Grand Forks used to be a big bomber base too, and they turned it into a drone base now.
Mm-hmm.
And so they can fly drones out of there now, and you'll see them fly over Fargo every so often, everything else. And so, but Minot, we still, even though we closed a lot of our missile silos, North Dakota still has the most missile silos than any other state because we've got so much farm country. You'll drive out into the farm fields here and you'll see silos, and you don't know, that could be a launcher. Or there was one right over here by where I lived for a while that they shut down a couple years ago. And it looked like I always thought as long as I lived here, it was a farming fucking silo. Here it was an ICBM launcher.
Above ground.
Yep.
Wow.
Is it okay if
Go ahead,
Dave?
Well, no, it wasn't above ground. But they do is they put the silos in an area to make you think it's farming area.
Oh, I gotcha.
It's like a decoy, basically.
Right. Gotcha.
This ain't nothing but a silo for a farmer and stuff. In fact, it's a military command post underneath of it from the Cold War.
Right.
They had them scattered all over North Dakota.
Go ahead, JR.
Is it okay if I slightly digress onto a completely different story?
Sure.
Okay. Is that okay, Dave?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Okay, cool. It's a story which I posted on my Facebook ages ago, and I don't think you were, active then, so probably haven't seen it. Anyway, but it's an interesting story. Anyway, I'll just try and find it.
This should be
find
good.
it. I've just got to sort through all my shit.
Does it have to do with Planet X or aliens or anything?
No.
Okay, just
checking.
I'm just checking.
No,
I'm just checking. Don't be getting all snippy and shit.
No, it's not. Hold on. Just get through the cat videos. Oh, here we go. Yeah, okay. I'll just open up the news article. Self-taught rocket scientist. Have you read that?
The what?
Self-taught rocket scientist.
Self-taught. No.
Self-taught. No. Okay. Self-taught rocket scientist Mad Mike Hughes announces launch.
God, yes. Lori sent me this fucking. The FAA told him no. They put a kibosh on it. They're not going to let him do it.
But what surprised me was this really, you know, when I read the story, I instantly thought of you because I mean, which party I've got to scan through it.
He's a flat earther,
and he's a flat earther, yeah. And he wants to launch himself into space
in a steam powered rocket.
In a steam powered rocket, and he doesn't agree with science, but he's using every bit of science to make the rocket. And Gonzo made that point on the comments. So
Gonz is from Face Like the Sun. He's an excellent YouTuber.
Yes, yeah, he's good.
Yeah. The FAA put the kibosh on it though, because they're like, man, I don't know. I don't want this kid splattering himself all over the side of a fucking mountain or something. Steam-powered rocket. A steam-powered rocket, man.
Powered rocket, yeah.
Are you
Why
gonna,
not?
Oh, God. You know, how are you going to make it? Does he get a fireplace in there he's going to keep stoking with a big puddle of water on it? Yeah, I don't know, man. I just can't. A steam-powered rocket. I don't know, man.
And also,
I just think of the old Model A's. Chug, 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 chug. Well, whatever. Go ahead.
Right. And also on the news, but according to Sky News, anyways, it's according breaking news, whatever. Trump tells Theresa May to focus on UK terror and not his Britain first tweets. All right, very good. Basically, Trump's telling Theresa May to F off. Okay, so
along with half of
that's
Britain,
sweet.
Along with half of Great Britain.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, right then. So, and he's supposed to be coming over. He's supposed to be coming over to this country for a official visit.
Yeah, but wasn't there a bunch of protests? And you guys had somebody started a petition, and they had like 100,000 people sign it that said that they didn't want him to come. Yeah,
well over. I think it was up to 1 million or something, saying we don't want this idiot in this country.
Whatever.
So, well, that's fair enough. Anyway, I hope he comes over. There'll be a lot of protests outside Downing Street, and when he goes away, hope that protests stay outside Downing Street and say, Luke, get rid of Theresa May. Job done.
Would you do you? What side do you fall on? What side are you in your?
I am not aligned to any political party.
No, but I mean, do you want Trump to show up or not?
Me,
you know, if you had your druthers, would you rather have him stay home?
Yes, I do.
Oh, you want him to come over? Okay. You going to launch a tomato at him?
No.
No, okay.
He's only doing a job.
What about you,
okay,
Hobo?
He's doing it badly, but he's doing the job.
Fuck. He's doing it poorly. Piss poor, as my dad would say.
Very badly, but he's doing the job.
Hobo,
okay. And
what about you, Hobo? You going to go throw a tomato at Trump when he shows up, man? We'll wait for a minute. Go ahead, keep talking. He'll give me an answer in the room. Okay.
Yeah, well, personally, he's doing a job. It's a job I wouldn't want to do. He is probably, even he admitted himself, it's probably a lot more than he expected. And, okay.
Because he's a fucking actor, man. He's a Hollywood actor.
I know. But so was Reagan. Reagan was an actor.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying.
But he was a bloody good president.
They've been puppets for decades, man. We've been under their thumb for decades. None of it has ever made a fucking difference. None of it ever will make a difference. I don't give a shit who you vote for. It's never going to change. It's the system. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, but personally, I don't align myself with any one party, Conservative. Oh, wow. If push comes to shove, I am more Conservative than I am left wing, okay? But I don't align myself with the right wing, okay? I like to be open-minded as much as possible, but I do focus more probably on the right wing than I do on the left wing. But I am open-minded on other parties. And I have, like I said, voted for Tony Blair. I vote what's right for me at the time and what's right for my, not country, but for me.
The only party I'm interested in, man, is the one in my backyard with a bunch of homies coming by and some beers flowing and some barbecue on the fire, or maybe out in the middle of the, you know what I mean? That's the only party I'm interested in. The only thing that I focus on is freedom.
Well, that's
freedom.
it, yeah.
Leave me the fuck alone and we're all right. That's the only thing I got to say to the government. Any government. I don't give a shit who they are. Leave me the fuck alone.
Have you seen that war chap that killed himself with poison?
Oh, the Chechen, whatever, yeah. the Bosnian Chechen war. Yeah. Supposedly he was up in front of the Hague and was going to receive a couple of life sentences or whatever for war crimes, and he choked on, I don't know, whatever. Drank something and vapor locked.
Poison.
Yeah.
It's great.
Hey, man.
No, it's not great, but, you know, it's... at least he saved everybody a job, and he saved a hell of a lot of money.
What a Hollywood ending, right? I mean, you know, he went out on his own terms, I reckon. There you go. Evidently, he was guilty.
Exactly. Luke, it's divine justice.
And he knew.
I hope he died in pain.
He was like, dude, if I go behind bars, they're going to fuck me in the ass and stuff, and I ain't up for that, man. So, time to vapor lock.
Well, fair enough, yeah. But you should have seen his eyes when he was drinking.
I don't
it was pure terror.
Yeah, I don't watch videos like that anymore, man. I don't watch it. Whatever. Well, you can see all kinds of that crap on YouTube too. They get, death caught on tape. Whatever.
No. But it was on Twitter, and it was it was a live feed from The Hague, and he did it live on, on a live feed, and it caught everybody by surprise. Even the judge was going, "What the hell's going on here?" And it was right. What do we do now?
I saw a couple of comments that people made, like, was he too much of a pussy to eat a bullet? And I think it's pretty hard to get a gun into The Hague, especially when you're under indictment.
But how the hell did he get about the poison then? That's the question.
I don't know. Maybe his lawyer slipped it to him. He was like, dude, you're fucked. You better take this.
I don't know.
I don't know. But anyway. Okay. Anybody else got a comment on the Hague guy choking himself out?
Nope.
Well, hopefully there's a place in hell for him.
I'm sure there is.
Yeah. And he died in a lot of pain, hopefully.
Yeah. He'll have to spend the rest of eternity with his ass sticking out of the ground so that Satan can park his bike.
Exactly. Thank you, Billy Connolly.
Right. All right, David, what else you got, man? We got like 20 minutes left.
Oh, this just came out.
Breaking news, everybody. Pay attention.
Well, I don't know if it's breaking news, but it just came out. It says Canada sets aside 2 bunkers at military bases amid global uncertainty, North Korean threat. It says
Canada?
Threat of North Korean missiles striking Canada prompts officials to adopt a Cold War defensive posture. And it goes on here, and it says,
Trudeau
these are nightmare scenarios ripped straight out of Hollywood thrillers. It says, but rising global tensions, notably over North Korea, has prompted federal officials to review and in some cases revise a series of critical contingency plans, including one that involves the evacuation of the federal cabinet to a secure base outside of Ottawa. And it basically goes on, it says the agreement is part of the federal government's overall plan for the continuity of constitutional government, which aims to ensure minimum or no interruption to the availability of critical services during an emergency or natural disaster in Ottawa. It says each location is classified in the heavily redacted briefing dated August 2nd, 2016, and only referred to as Alpha and Bravo sites.
Just last year, huh? They just came up with that shit last year. Imagine that. Do you think they might have had a little predictive programming going on? You think they might have caught wind of something back then? You know, hey guys, we're going to be getting ready to go to war, so you might want to build a new bunker and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, man. But it says,
yeah, I'm telling you right now, dude. When they walk into the room or run into the room and snatch Trudeau up and tell him we're at war, time to go to the bunker, that little faggot's going to shit his pants.
Oh, I agree, man. And you know, they said that the Privy Council Office, the bureaucratic wing of the Prime Minister's office, drafted an agreement with National Defense a year ago to open up bunkers on 2 military bases should the National Capital Region become unviable, according to documents obtained by CBC News under Access to Information legislation. So they knew last year to get these ready.
All those BC plants are going to get radiated, man. If this shit happens, that's going to fucking suck. Because they grow some fine bud up there, man.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for all you cats on the West Coast over there, over in British Columbia, because you guys are going to take the brunt of that shit, especially, you know, like, yeah, whatever. I don't know. I don't know if I see us catching any nukes or not, man. I really don't. I think it's going to be a ground invasion that's going to come from all sides when China and Russia decide to go Katie fucking bar the door on this country. I don't know if they're going to start throwing nukes first or not, because I don't think they want to come in for a ground invasion afterwards. You know what I mean?
I don't think it will be nukes. See, nukes are so old technology. They're dirty.
Well, yeah, and it leaves shit so, you know,
yeah,
it's uninhabitable for a while.
Attacks. I think we'll get our grid turned off.
And biological, too. I think there's going to be something biological that comes in.
For sure, I think our grid will be one of the first things to go down.
And they'll blame that on North Korea, too. North Korean hackers just got us.
Oh, yeah. And, you know, most people have no idea what the hell happened. Your lights will go off, and then 3 days later, you're fucking panicking.
Well, what if it's not even the lights? What if all they do is, like, take out the interwebs and take out cell phone technology? Everybody's left completely in the fucking dark. They can't contact anybody. They can't get any information online. You know, the news broadcast is just going to be blowing the same shit over and over. North Korea has attacked the United States. Wow, we're going to war. But they can't get any real information off the web because it's been taken down. That's all they got to do is say, oh, they hit the server farms. Took out cell phones and the internet at the same time.
So the United States turns into a totalitarian state, a bit like North Korea. So it's ironic, and you know.
Yeah, well, what if it affects you guys over there in Europe too, man? Because you guys are all involved.
It will
in it
do,
too,
yeah.
right?
It will do. So see, what happens in the United States will happen in the UK, and what will happen is it won't be a server attack; it'll be a server worm, a bit like the
go through and eat everybody's fucking hard drive up and shit. Yeah, ransomware maybe. You know, all of a sudden you get a blue screen that says you owe us $10,000 to get your information back.
Exactly, like a worm. And it's not like a Trojan or anything like that.
Right.
It worms its way around the internet. Hence it's called a worm. And
I've heard of a worm
it
before.
will attack unprotected computers and servers. And a lot of the servers, of course, use Windows XP, which are not protected. They're out of date. Way out of date. And what they need to do is update to Linux.
But it's okay because Microsoft will come up with a patch.
Yeah, well, Microsoft came up with the patch, but they didn't.
After the fact, right? This is just like the Stuxnet, right? And then didn't we just read something a year ago that said that Stuxnet was made by the CIA, and after it got released on a wiki page or something like that, that some cat in Tehran started selling it on the open market. So now it's out there, right?
Well, no,
the Stuxnet virus is out there.
By the NSA. It's NSA software. Used
it was CIA. Yeah, CIA, okay. NSA, they're all tied in at the hip. So,
shall we talk about the royal wedding?
Oh God, man, do you guys really want to talk about that bullshit?
It's not bullshit. It's good fun. Come on, and I'm so pleased.
Is this like the new one? Prince Harry's supposed, or Prince whoever the fuck is supposed to marry some other whoever the fuck?
American. She's
but isn't she like half black?
No, she's not half black. Go on, Bennett.
Okay, we'll go with that. Well, yeah, she's mixed race. Wouldn't the Queen have a little kitten over that shit?
No.
Aren't they supposed to be blue blood or some purity thing going?
She's American.
He's so far removed from being the king that it doesn't matter.
Not if somebody takes out his brother.
No, it doesn't matter.
Well, it has to take out the brother's kids, and everything else.
Oh well,
and they got a third one on. They got a third one on the way.
Oh
yeah, he's fifth in line right now.
Well, damn, he's feeling all left out and shit. So he's gonna run off and grab a halfer.
I have a better chance of being the king than he does.
Okay, wait. Okay, she's in the royal family. Okay?
You will never be the king, Lori. You are the
benevolent
overlord. That's right.
If it pleases the queen.
She's becoming a British citizen. She's been baptized this week under the Church of England. She's becoming a British citizen.
They're taking her under the church to baptize her? That's kind of creepy.
No, she's becoming a British citizen. Yeah.
You said under the church. They're taking her under the church.
Under the crown.
Under the Church of England.
Whatever.
Which I'm part of anyway. So I'm it's C of E. And here's a tweet by Greg. So somebody called Greg. I can't say his name.
Are we really going to let the show go out like this, man? I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, JR. I'm just fucking with you, man. I'm just fucking with you. Go ahead.
Here's a tweet by Greg Polowitz. I've said it.
Can you spell it?
Prince? Yeah. P-O-L-L-O-W-I-T-Z.
I was kidding. Oh, I got another Z out of him. That's worth it. Go ahead.
Shut up. Prince Harry's kids will be Americans. If one grows up to be a president and is in line to the throne at the same time, what happens if one grows up to be a president and is in line to the throne at the same time?
See, DK said it too in the room. DK said it right there in chat. She's half black, half white. She is half black, half white.
Brits are playing long ball here, but it's a smart move. They want America back, and this is how they'll do it.
DK, JR's not having it, man. Go ahead.
Well, she's not like half of her face is black and the other half is white. It's kind of all mingled in there together.
It's checkerboard. Yeah.
I'm having it. It's okay, you know. But anyway, listen, it doesn't matter. Look who's first lady. It's a Russian. Who would have thought a Russian first lady would be in the White House?
She's not royal blood. You guys have to have that royal blood shit passed down thing.
In the White House.
Do you really think for 1 second that the Queen is going to give a nod to this chick coming into the royal family?
Oh, yeah, she is.
She already has.
Seriously?
Yeah. Yes.
Absolutely.
Wow.
She adores her.
Yeah, I think she's great, and I think it's brilliant. And it's nice to have an American over there as well.
Fucking
by the way, the Queen probably died about a month ago, so...
No, she's still alive, don't worry.
She's just shedding her skin. She'll be back out in a month.
Right? They need that young blood.
Right. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, she's got to go sacrifice a couple babies, too. Then she'll be back. Okay, what else, man? We got 10 more minutes, JR. What else is going on over there in London?
Not much. It's Brexit. A bit about the royal wedding, of course.
Oh, somebody come out. Who was it that come out and said, Britons can change their mind about the Brexit vote?
Oh, yeah. Exit from Brexit. Yeah.
Anything to try to keep them in the EU because
no chance,
we can choose our doctors and our own healthcare too.
They're the only thing that's holding up the euro. Them and Germany,
exactly.
London and
we are the cash cow for the EU. I've got nothing against
Europe.
Well,
Germany's the cash cow, but Germany's the cash cow. But
we are the second cow, the cash cow.
Right.
Us and Germany.
Your economy and the German economy.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of Sweden. Go ahead.
Yeah. But if us and Germany didn't trade together or didn't work together, then the whole of the European Union would collapse. And there's a lot of rumblings in Spain.
It's going to collapse anyway,
and
man.
France.
It's going to collapse anyway.
Yeah, of course.
It doesn't matter if you guys fuck. And
they know that.
Italy's broke.
They know that.
How many other countries over there are on the brink of filing bankruptcy? You know, it's
Italy, Italy, Spain, and France.
Yeah.
They are on the brink, basically.
Yeah.
And they are not putting their 3% in towards NATO, which they should be. And we won't either, the way that we're cutting back on our armed services. So, which the defence secretary said, look, if we are going to stay up with NATO, which we should do, and we need to support the Americans and keep this NATO alliance happy, we need to pump more money into our defence, because we've got Russia out there wanting to influence this country.
Didn't Britain have a ship take a shit on them in the middle of the ocean just a couple days back?
Did they? That's news to me.
I could have swore. David, were you on top of that, man? I could have swore it was a British ship. One of their state-of-the-art boats took a shit right in the middle of the fucking ocean and had to get towed back to port. Wasn't that a British one?
I have no idea.
Our ships are always shitting. If the water's too hot, too cold, too warm, too shallow, too deep, they always, conk out. So
somebody in the chat verify that story. I thought it was a British boat just a couple days ago. I know that story hadn't been that old because I can remember it, and I've done stuff in a couple of days. So, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a British boat that just went tits up in the middle in the water. And
I'll have to have a look at that. Yes, thanks. And yeah, our navy used to be the best in the world. Hence we had it. Hence the navy made our empire. If it wasn't for King Henry and our oak trees, we wouldn't have had a navy. In fact, any country wouldn't have had a navy. We used to be one of the best naval powers in the world. Now, I'm surprised if we've got 2 paddle boats. We can sail them. But it's quite embarrassing.
Wasn't it you that was just bragging on the Harrier jump jet a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, the Harrier jump jet. Yeah, it's great. I love that plane. See, it goes up and down, and it's great for an aircraft carrier. So see, it comes down vertically. You don't need to land it,
right.
Fly it in with a, like a catapult to stop it. It goes up and down, a bit like a helicopter, which is perfect for an aircraft carrier. But we screwed all those up and sold them to, I think, Jordan or Saudi Arabia. So why didn't we have those? Why have we got an aircraft carrier that has taken the F-35?
Oh,
I can't understand what's so good about the F-35.
That thing is about the biggest piece of shit. Oh,
exactly,
man.
Yeah. They can only be used once and can't be recycled.
Yeah. They can't even fire missiles yet, man. They're not even going to have the software available for it to fire missiles until next year.
Exactly. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Now, granted, next year's in about a month and a half, but still.
Yeah.
They've been selling them.
Sure.
They've been selling them. I think Jordan's got some, and Saudi Arabia's got some, and y'all got some, and France has some. And they can't even fire a fucking... Anyway. Whatever.
Oh, dear, what a shame. Where's Charlie when we need him?
I thought he was going to add in, but I didn't see him lit up, so I didn't try. I texted him right before the show, and he never said poo about coming on. So he said he was going to try, and then after I questioned him about it, I didn't get anything back.
That's fine.
So
I hope he's okay anyway.
He is. He's good. He's getting ready He's getting ready for some time to himself that he really needs. So I'm wishing him well in his little time to himself. Yeah. They've been working the shit out of this cat, man. That's why he can't come on the show or anything for,
I understand that, yeah.
So.
Hence I said, I hope he's okay.
Yeah. He'll probably be counting his ammunition or something. I don't know.
Good. A big shout out to Charlie.
Yeah, he's good people, man. I miss him. I miss him coming on the show regular. I got used to listening to him every weekend, or every week.
Yeah.
And I missed that. But we got a pretty good crew tonight. Except for Lance. Lance don't say shit. He just sits back there. And probably still got jet lag. I don't know, man. He sent me this little video of this German chick walking around with a gun in the airport. And I said, man, go ask her if you can touch her gun.
He's eating a sandwich right now.
Oh, yeah.
Damn right.
Fist sandwich?
He's eating my sausage.
Hey? What?
So what'd you think about that shooting in Reno last night? Did you hear about that, Jimmy?
No, last night? No.
Yeah. There was a shooting in downtown Reno out of this massive, it used to be a casino, and they turned it into a big luxury condo type building, high rise. This guy went out on the 8th floor and started firing into the streets in downtown Reno. And it was a pretty big thing. No one got hurt, luckily. No one got shot. This guy was a bad shot, but he had like a woman as a hostage, or he had someone as a hostage. But anyway, the cops end up getting there. They end up killing the guy.
Damn.
And, I don't know if the hostage got killed too or not. They end up killing the shooter. He, like I said, he was firing from the 8th floor balcony. Well, come to find out, this condo that he bought from the Las Vegas shooter last year.
Really?
And so, coincidence or not, who knows? But I just thought that was interesting.
It had to be organic because I didn't see shit about it. I didn't hear shit about it.
I was just thinking maybe they tried to get something going, the alphabet agencies, and it didn't work out right. And so, I don't know, but he was shooting right where all the casinos were and everything. And they're saying no one got shot. So, I don't know, but yeah, it came out. And this was on regular news that the property he owned was once the shooter of the Las Vegas the shooting.
I kind of wonder if I don't know, man. I'd have to see that come from more than one source.
I mean, it could be coincidental. Who knows? But they, the news was all stating that it was property. It was the property of the shooter in Las Vegas that used to be his property. He sold it last year to this other guy.
Unbelievable, man. All right, we made it through another show. We're out of time. Last 60 seconds are scrolling by right now. Who's got something? Anybody got something they want to drop really quick? Or, I want to say...
I would follow the reciprocity laws that are getting changed right now.
Okay. As far as cross-border concealed carry and stuff?
Yeah. Okay. They're all kinds of stuff coming out new.
Yeah, they said that the federal government's trying to push it where you can carry guns and reciprocity there and
man. If you have a license to carry a weapon, it's just like a license to drive a car. You don't have to stop at every fucking state and get a new driver's license. Why should you have to get one for your fucking firearm?
Because I'm scared. Hugely. So am I.
Yeah. So we'll keep an eye on that one. And
they said the cops are absolutely against this.
I don't like it one bit.
You guys need to come on the show Saturday, and we'll discuss it at length. How about that? It's a date.
I'm not. I won't. Will not.
Whatever.
Don't you whatever me.
I'm hanging up on you now. Shush.
Be that way, fucker.
Thank you, Lori, for coming on the show tonight. Thank you, JR, for swimming across the pond and getting on the radio with me. Thanks, Lance, for sitting back there and doing your bong hits and stuff.
Yeah, man.
Thanks, David, for all the headlines and whatever. I'm glad you're feeling better. I'm glad you got up and come on the show.
A little bit better, I got to have radiation now, so I'm not looking forward. It's a hard decision to make on that, too, and so now... That's fucking coming. I woke up blind this morning. I can't see barely. My vision is just gone. I don't know what happened, man. So I got to go see a doctor tomorrow over that.
Radiation? Why?
Tumors down my arm. I was in partial remission from the nerve cancer. I had 4 rounds of chemo and started going away. The doctors were optimistic. And then all of a sudden I started feeling these lumps on my arm. And I couldn't feel them before. And nothing. So, they not only started coming back, they started coming back faster and bigger, even after 4 rounds of chemo. So now I got to have radiation.
Good God.
And
anyway, hope they nuke them anyway.
Well, I haven't made up my mind if I want radiation or not. The chemo was a big enough decision, and having to worry about radiation now, I don't know.
It's very good now, Dave. Listen, it's very, very good. What they can do is target it straight on.
Well, either way, I put it in God's hands, and He's the ultimate decider of everything. I talked to God off and on all day today about it, man, and it's all in His hands.
No, it's in your hands. You're the one making the decision, and you need to do it, okay? And I advise you to go ahead and do it.
I pray for you, brother.
See, modern technology is massively advanced.
Bullshit! Excuse me, I'm sorry. I had something in my throat. Do you have any idea where chemo came from?
Yes, I know where chemo came from.
Where did it come from? Where did it come from, JR? Where did chemo come from, JR?
It was from Marie Curie. Correct?
No. So you don't know where chemo came from. Okay.
Okay,
we've established that. Okay. We're just going to go ahead and end the show because it's 2 minutes after 10 anyway. So, David, I pray for you every day, man. I pray for all of my friends every day.
Okay, thank you.
Keep us up to date. And
yes, please. Yeah.
All right.
And I hope it all goes well, Dave. Okay.
Yeah. I'll be all right. It'll be fine.
All right.
Okay, that's good.
We'll see you guys on Saturday. You out there listening and stuff. Hang on, because I'm playing the music as we go out. So, here we go.
Control combat, catapults, throw stones, break bones, scatter foes as they attack and defend my castle. He subdues those opposed, they tremble. He tramples. I will patrol and expose all these entities. Wolves in sheep's clothes throughout centuries. Arise, Lord God, help rescue me and slap the face of my enemies.
Love peas and cookies.
Teeth of the wicked, the sick and twisted, the evil, dark and demented. Victory comes from my King. You answer me when I call. Place your words to Christ I cling. Through his blood he crushed the head of the serpent. Oh God, you declare me innocent. Pay attention to my groaning. Listen to my voice every morning. I'll wait expectantly. Prepare a feast in the presence of my enemies, anointing me with oil. You are my guarantee, exceed what I need. My cup runneth over, redeemed I believe. I'm a spiritual soldier. No weapon that is formed against me shall prosper. No harm will prevail. I wear the full armor. No force exists that my God cannot conquer. Death itself was no match for my Father. No weapon that is formed against me shall prosper. No harm will prevail. I wear the full armor. No force exists that my God cannot conquer. Death itself was no match for my Father. I'll stand firm against the wiles of the devil, armed with battalions of uncountable angels. You take no pleasure in the wicked. They irritate you like the sounds of a cricket. The proud are not allowed to dwell in your presence. Darkness is absent in your illuminescence. The dirty mouths and the minds of the sin slaves. They talk foul like the stench of an open grave. Oh God, you declare them as guilty. Their speech filled with deceit and flattery. Let them be caught in their own traps like withered grass. Let their plans collapse. They scoff at you and they repent not. They even mock you, and for your robe they cast lots. Trouble and evil on the tips of their tongues. They lurk in dark alleys, stalking their victims. The unforgiven, unrepentant, illegitimate, relentless sinners. Fed by willing ignorance. No sign is adequate except the sign of Jonah. 3 days in the valley, 3 days watch Yeshua. No weapon that is formed against me shall prosper. No harm will prevail. I wear the full armor. No force exists that my God cannot conquer. Death itself was no match for my Father. No weapon that is formed against me shall prosper.